Jen, first of all, a big welcome and thank you for taking the time to join us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
So you're coming in from the Gold Coast, and obviously our relationship is a beautiful one. We met through, I guess, this partnership and this collaboration that we're doing with Isogenics and this nutritional cleansing company. But the one thing the reason I wanted to get you on here is because a big thing for me is in this sort of the shared economies and these networked worlds where, it's referral-based products and services. Sometimes the essence gets missed, and for like every time I have a conversation with you, there's just so much heart and so much integrity and so much I think love with what you do and the way that you integrate this program for yourself, but also ways that you try to find ways to support and help other people integrate this into their lives. And I guess having 25 years background as a naturopath and is something that is, it's a bucket load of experience, but you're adding that to a team of over 500 years of experience with John Anderson and the scientific team. So it's just amazing for me when you get that collaborative knowledge and people like yourself partnering with opportunities like this. I think it's just something beautiful that we need to capture and share with the world. So are you happy to work through that with me? And we'll talk about, a bit about your journey and your story.
Yeah, all good. Go for it. Ask me anything.
All right. Here we go. So let's go back to the beginning. I want to go back to the very beginning, and but before we do that, I want to start with the end in mind. So what is like your ideal day now? So Jen Jeffries wakes up tomorrow, and what's she doing? What's she thinking about? Why does she get up out of bed?
I wake up at 5 a.m. naturally. I am a disciplined sleeper because I burned out in my 20s. And so I am very disciplined around my sleep 5 nights a week, where I'm in bed by 10. I wake fresh either side of 5 a.m. And at the moment I'm learning to surf. And so I'm up, I'm out of the house, and I'm down at the beach. At the moment I'm driving all the way down to Rainbow Bay. So I am down, is 45 minutes kind of each way, but it's so worth it. So I'm in the water by 6:30 a.m. And it's cold at the moment. So that's a challenge. I have much more respect for surfers now after learning to surf, with winter coming. But that's it. So I'm not a gym person. I walked the Camino Way 5 years ago. And since then, I just can't do gyms. I can't be in that kind of space. I've got to be out in nature. So surfing fits my exercise. So I'm out and do that. I'm at my desk. By the time I go and surf for an hour and a half or 2 hours, and then have a nice leisurely breakfast at the beach. And then I'm back here in my office somewhere around 10. And I'll, work with clients all around the world and do things like have a chat to you in Bali in the evening. So, it's a good life. It's a very good life. And if I'm not doing that, I'm traveling somewhere in the world, either teaching aromatherapy. I've written a big bunch of aromatherapy books. So I can be found traveling the world speaking on aromatherapy or speaking on preventing burnout in the workplace, which a huge part of it revolves around exactly this, the whole adrenals and all the health products and everything that, what we can do with Isogenics. Yeah. And so I travel and surf.
Travel and surf. And when did you pick up surfing? How many years ago?
Oh, mate. It's actually 3 years, but the first summer I got dumped. I got dumped, hit a sandbank and tore my rotator cuff. That took me out for 12 months. Yeah. And acupuncture and everything has got it 95% right, although I'm really testing at the moment. So I'm really only back this year, since Christmas, actually getting back to surfing again. So, I'm a newbie. And
if you don't mind me asking, Jen, how old are you this year?
I turned 58 last week, mate. 58?
I know you don't ask women these questions, but I just had to know because,
I'm an open book.
That's what I love about you. Because it's like, imagine, just for anyone out there listening, imagine still waking up at 5 a.m. In your mid-50s and picking up, this is...
58 is closer to 60.
Well, you said 3 years ago. I'm going half one. But it's just the thing for me is so many people have these limitations. I think your mindset and the way you look at the world and the way that you do things is the big picture, your ability to see things from different angles. I know you've done a lot of work with David Wood and a lot of other beautiful mentors, and you're also a mentor and leader yourself in that space. But it's I think that in itself is phenomenal. That you live this type of ideal day. You wake up at 5 a.m. You're open to pick up something like surfing at the age of 55. Like that's an inspiration enough. But I think what we do now, let's go all the way back to the beginning, because people are on here to really get into your brain about what you know about food as foundational medicine and naturopathy and nutritional science, and also how you turn that into an opportunity which allows you to live this ideal day in like your mid 50s and late 50s. So let's go back to the beginning. So what got you into naturopathy 25 years ago? What was your passion for it?
I had no bloody passion for it. I was not the tree hugging hippie. I worked.
What about this shirt?
I've always been a hippie. Everything that the hippie movement was, but no, not the tree hugger. I worked in the pharmacy industry. When I was 17, I joined the regular army, and I was a driver instructor in the army. Did that, realized I couldn't do that for forever. And anyway, being an out gay woman didn't go well in the army in those days.
Yeah, I bet.
So left the army. And went into the pharmacy industry and management, and I was working there, and it was the 80s. So it was pre-fringe benefits tax, where drug companies did everything they could to get you to sell their drugs. And it was a crazy ride. And I burned out my adrenal glands and just really, I hit the wall. And then just went, this is not good. And it was through natural therapies that I got well. I actually went to Camp Eden back a million years ago, almost 30 years ago. That's the only place you could go in Australia in those days as a health retreat. But the naturopaths there helped me so much and inspired me that I went back to school and studied. I studied to be a naturopath, but I put all my specialty into how day-to-day life stresses manifest physically in our body, because I know that my body was giving me heaps of hints I was off track. Yes, I was working and partying hard. However, I wasn't listening to it. And I had access to all the drugs and was using them to prop myself up, and alcohol and all those things. And I was dead in the water, absolutely dead in the water. And seriously, after 3 weeks working with a naturopath, I couldn't believe I could feel so well. And I went, I just have to know how it works. So quit everything, went back to school, studied, and did that. But after 10 years, and you've been in practice, like I got so damn frustrated that I could only physically help the 40 or 50 patients who walked through my clinic outdoors every week. And it drove me nuts. And so I went, I have to do more. And I thought, what do I really love to do? Because I love traveling. And so I thought, how do I marry the two? And I thought, well, I can be a speaker and go and speak on the things that I love about my work, which is mainly the preventing burnout in the workplace stuff and aromatherapy. So brain dumped what I was telling patients. And I've been on the road for 20 years, traveling 6 to 9 months a year around the world, lecturing on those things. And I've had a good life way before Isogenics. I've been with Isogenics for 9.5 years, but way before I was already living that life. The difference was, and I only realized this when I walked the Camino. So as a professional speaker, you earn thousands of dollars an hour, doing keynotes, which is great. However, if you don't work, you don't get paid.
Yeah.
So I was helping more people, hundreds and thousands at a time, instead of the one-on-ones in clinic. However, when I was walking the Camino, I realized after I was, came home 4 or 5 weeks later that I'd still earned a multiple six-figure income while I was walking 800 kilometers across Spain because of the work I had done on the 4 years previously in my Isogenics business. However, if I'd just been counting on my speaking work for income, I wouldn't have earned a Zach. And I went, ooh, I actually really get what residual income is now, because I'd never really gotten it before then.
Yeah. And this is kind of cool. Because I reckon if we grab that point in time, right? Because as health professionals, allied health professionals, we grab all types of tools and we add them to our belt. For me as a physio, like I pick up acupuncture, dry needling. I can learn some traditional Chinese medicine. I can learn a little bit about nutritional science. I can find programs like nutritional cleansing with Isogenics. I can find, water systems. I can add all these things to my tool belt, right? But what was the thing that made you really, really partner up with Isogenics? And I guess, at the time, like this is something that's readily available to anyone. So anyone can obviously help each other, refer anyone. Whereas, in the naturopathy world, it's like, you can't only use these clinician prescribed products, right? Because there's that control side of things. But how did you kind of go from like that world to something that anyone could share? Was it like Was it easy to make that shift, or was it like you just love the products yourself? Like how did that start?
Oh, it blew my brain.
Yeah.
It really blew my brain. So I was shown it. I'd been running a women's health and hormones kind of workshop in Sydney, and I'd met this woman, Heather, in my audience, and we kind of connected really well. And she, a little while later, she showed me two of the tonics in the Isogenics program, one the cleansing tonic and the one that I call the adrenal tonic. And looked at them, and I honestly went, far out. They're using exactly the same herbs and enzymes that I had written about in books and had been teaching about on the world stage for years. And I got so excited, I can't tell you. And then started doing my due diligence and realized it was network marketing. I went, no, I don't do those things. I've never done it. I won't do it. I'd been hassled by people in the past doing, I'll get the naturopath to join my team. And I was just so closed. It was crazy. And after a few months, I thought, this is silly. Here I am hand blending my own version of what's in this bottle, and I won't even drink it. My naturopath ego was so huge. I wouldn't even drink it. So eventually I really pulled the company apart and went and met the GM of Australia and New Zealand at the time, a woman called Sharon. And man, I gave that poor chick a hard time. And the science officers and everyone, I really did. I ripped this thing apart. And really, honestly, even down to quizzing them where they stood on gay rights, because my career in the army I'd lost my army career because of being gay, being me, and so I even quizzed the company on where they stood on that. That's so how much values
and integrity. It was more about that than other things. That's really cool.
The products rock, but you can have great products and have a sucky company. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So
me too.
That was where it all kind of started, and after I got off my ego and gave the program a go, it took a couple of weeks, but people started to say, look, you've always had a lot of energy, but this has gotten silly. And I went, okay. Then that pissed me off even more. Because in clinic, I could create amazing protocols for patients, which I did, and get great results. And as a naturopath, we see, that we've got a body. We are a body of systems. Okay,
yes.
We're not one body system. And so people go, oh, I'm going to get clean. So I'm just going to do a bum cleanse or a liver cleanse or, a bloody raw vegan, organic, paleo, veggie, whoopty-doopy bloody diet. Yeah. And none of that matters if your body is not handling the day-to-day life stresses, because those things will kick you outside the alkaline corridor faster than the crap food will. So when I really got into what Isogenics was and realized it was a program, a system designed to support all the body systems, to give them that reboot like a naturopath does in their first month anyway. We give a body like a reboot so we can see what's really going on.
Yep.
And it was like, wow, they're using the same kind of ingredients with the same thinking. This is cool. And you don't see that in mainstream companies. It was big. It was really big. It did blow my brain.
So, and this is the thing, right? So you use the products yourself. Could you take us through like why you shifted from everything else you were using to using what these guys had created? Was it the fact that there was no compromise? Was it the fact that how it made you feel? Was it, because there's so many things available. Like I had a shelf, like I'd seen naturopath, sports dietitians before I started this, and I remember I had a bag. Like I literally had a bag of all these things that I'd bought, like Blackmores and things I paid like sometimes upwards of $100 to $200 for, right? And like you said, like I didn't really feel a difference, but I kind of thought that I did, maybe 5 or 10%. But then because it wasn't adapting to my lifestyle, I'd kind of fix that 2%, but I wouldn't fix the 95%. So what was the thing that made you go, I'm just going to shift over to this, give it a go, and then take it from there?
Well, one, the science brain in me had to try and prove it wrong. That's part of it. I just had to go, this is not possible. That was the thing. The second thing is, this is simple. So even if you take, my favorite product in this program, and I've put my whole 30-year career into designing and teaching around the world about herbal tonics that help get your body out of survival mode, hormonally, and just kind of just like give your body a breather so that the body can adapt to the stress that it's experiencing. And it's not the big stresses nowadays, guys. It's the little ones that get us day after day after day. So when you know, the one tonic that's in the program that really lit me up, really reflecting back to when I was making that in clinic, my version of that. I used to create a herbal tonic and still supply a magnesium supplement and a digestive enzyme to go with it. 3 products to do what this one tonic does. It's more simple. It tastes way better than the crap I made. Naturopaths make some nasty herbs. And the other thing was that in my clinic, I can't offer a no questions asked money back guarantee. But with the support of this business system, I'm after to say to patients, or, you know, but just people who want to try the program, look, try it. If you don't feel like you're heading in the right direction in the first month, you post back the empty containers and get your money back. I can't do that as a solo operator. It's just not possible. So there were so many benefits to it. It was huge, just really huge, but more simple, and which means compliance is better. If we can, as a practitioner, we can create the biggest, coolest protocols on the planet. And if the patient can't adhere to it simply within their, that's flexible within their lifestyle, they won't do it, which means the person still isn't helped. So this is a program that's easy to integrate into any lifestyle. And I have a crazy shit lifestyle, guys, on and off planes and time zones and stuff. It really is silly, but it's what I love. But anyone can integrate this into their life and no risk to try it.
Well, let's go there, because let's spend the next 5 minutes. I just want to quickly overview like what the system is from your point of view, and just dissect it just a little bit, just for the everyday person, right? And then we'll spend the last 5 minutes, you know, talking about, you know, how you then went on to impact other people and you know, use this opportunity as a way of, one, getting the results, and we'll maybe have a chat about some amazing results that you've seen by using this as a foundation, and then obviously adding your nous and the allied support and team, and, you know, obviously the allied healthcare network that's all around us in the world as well. And then we'll work towards, you know, where we started with how you getting up in your mid-50s and surfing and doing what you do. All right?
Sure, let's do that. Let's go.
All right, let's go. All right, so as we know, the program, right, intermittent fasting is like a basis. We add it with nutritional cleansing. So you have a fasting day, and then you add it with some herbal tonics that obviously help the fasting process. We then nutrient saturate the body, and we, you know, add in the smoothies. We've got also the ionics, which has got the adaptogens, and we can talk about that. And then we've got like the little spark plugs, like, you know, the things like the isogenesis, which has got like the longevity and the telomere support side of things, and the antioxidants. But then we've got the other little spark plugs like the fish oils and stuff that fill in all the missing pieces. That's kind of it in a nutshell, yeah? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go. let's go from the beginning. I want to hear it from you. Talk about each. What are the things that are like? What do you love the most about the cleanse? Why is that different to anything else you see? Okay, so to put a little umbrella over it, if that's cool. Yep. When people think, "Wow, my body's not working for me the way I am. I'm going to give it a bit of a reboot. I'm going to do something to it." They usually they think, "I'm going to eat clean, eat less, exercise more, and make a smaller, healthier body." But guys, you don't get that. If you've got an out of balance body, hormonally and just life, it's out of balance. You eat less, eat clean, exercise more. You now make a smaller body with a higher percentage of out of balances. It's worse. And that's why yo-yo dieting happens. It's just why you're just thinking, wow, you know, I was great and now I'm shit again. That's a reality. So that's not naturopathically sound. So what is naturopathically sound is just, you've got an out of balance body. First thing is we tell it to chill out. Let's just let it take a breath for a moment. Let the hormones and everything just kind of go, just get you sleeping properly. Get you reacting or responding to stress differently. Then we start mobilizing the impurities, but do it in a way that it doesn't tax your body. That's big. And then flood your... Oh, go on. Quickly with that, with the impurities, because this is a big step, right? Obviously doing no harm at the front end means that we get less impurities in our body. So like alcohol and all that type of thing, right? Yeah, absolutely. But everyone, you can't get rid of, you can't prevent being in contact with the impurities and crap in life. You just can't. We're all in contact with it. It's just the way it is. But yeah, we've got to mobilize them in a way that doesn't tax the body. That's what's important for me as a naturopath. And then you want to flood the body with the right nutrition. So as a naturopath, I have prescribed every kind of bum cleanse and liver cleanse and everything kind of cleanse you could ever do. And I used to send patients to the colon clinic where they used a clear hose so they could see that crap coming out of them. I was a nasty practitioner.
But that's it. It's like I want people to have a bloody reality check. So now that it worries me that nowadays people are banging on about intermittent fasting, whereas naturopaths, we've always prescribed to the, having a one fast day a week. However, the difference is if you just eat nothing, or if you I'm fasting. No, that stresses your body. Okay, so as a naturopath, all we care about is there's this imaginary alkaline corridor. This is where everything works. Okay, now crap food kicks us out, stress kicks us out, life kicks us out. All I care about is how quick you bounce back in, how quick your body can adapt and come back in. So when you're doing just fasting, intermittent fasting, just I'm not eating, I'm fasting, I'm doing it for 16 hours or 8 hours or whatever you're doing, you're out. You're out of the corridor. That's it. So when I did my due diligence on this company, and the reason I like it is the fact that, our Cleanse for Life. So that it's a cleansing, it contains all the cool cleansing herbs. So things like burdock root that cleans your skin from the inside out. You can put all the expensive shit on your skin. Yeah. Because 80% of good health, good skin is good nutrition. It just is.
Yeah, inside out.
Oh, yeah, it is. Like, seriously, stop wasting your money on that expensive shit. I really mean that, because it's inside out. Fix your nutrition first. So, yes, it had all those right herbs in it. However, it also contained adaptogens. Now, adaptogens are our favorite class of herbs that help your body adapt to stress. So we're mobilizing impurities in the body, but doing it in a way that our body's not taxed as well. So we stay in the corridor. That's what matters. So cleansing runs circles around fasting in my world as a naturopath. The other thing is, our program, they're low food days, not no food days. So again, if someone's blood sugar is up and down and all over the place, that's not good. Yeah. So I love the fact that these little guys sit on my desk all the time. We have these little protein snacks that also have the minerals in them to balance blood sugar levels. And we cleanse without putting a stress on the body. It's so important.
And this is interesting. I just want to touch on this because, I'm in Bali right now. So I meet people that do 21-day water fast, like juice cleansing. And like, I know a lot of the people driving these programs, and I know a lot of them don't have this level of background with what they're prescribing. They're just sort of like, intermittent fasting, and they're like, let's do some juices. So they'll grab some beetroot and some carrot and some water, and sure, it works, right? But what we're talking about
to a point, but it's stressing their body out, and they will end up in a bigger shit heap down the track, and probably have a big healing crisis as they go along. It's not natural down.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, obviously, if we intermittent fast and we just do the water and we give our body the rest and digest, it will naturally do what it does, right? The body naturally detoxifies. But what you're saying with the cleanse is it's got like, the aloe veras, it's got like the bentonite clay, it's got all these herbs and minerals and adaptogens, which are like, these are really good high vibration plants. These are like the most high vibration plants in the world,
Absolutely.
right?
Seriously,
so we're not. So we're not sort of saying like, don't do this stuff, but it's like, you can do the lemon detox, you can do this, but it's like, if you want to really do it properly, do this. And then it's like, all the other stuff is, it's a nice process, but we can do it in a better way.
Yeah, we can. And you'll feel it. You really will feel it. You're not dragging your bum, your brain's clear, like the mental clarity is obscenely cool. Yeah. On the program, energy's good. Everything just works. It's a very different feeling. Yeah. Yeah.
And let's go to the smoothies now. So like, again, I'm in Bali, everyone's making smoothie bowls. I'm seeing plant-based ones. I'm seeing ones with like pea, brown rice, blah, blah, blah. Why are ours any different? I know we've got no compromise, which means obviously like, the organic standards are a baseline, but we go above that and we make sure that like the soil quality is good and like the nutrients actually in the plants are the things that matter, right? Rather than just how beautiful the food looks or how beautiful the packaging looks.
Yeah, big time. For me, when I first saw that, we had these smoothies, and my brain went, don't do that. Yeah. Don't do that. Yeah. And again, I ripped it apart. So I wrote in one of my books, was talking about that and I'm vegetarian, but if I was going to eat red meat, I would eat kangaroo. Yep. The reason is it's a not stressed wild animal that eats grass. Yep. Grass-fed protein contains all of the amino acids, particularly the ones that even turn your happies on. So many people, especially nowadays, you're seeing it so big where people are doing the super duper keto protein-y kind of thing, and they're all depressed and angry or tired because their body's being fed, imbalances. So protein that comes from a grass-fed animal, it just runs circles around, because you will pull up all the amino acids. And so your brain copes differently with life. That was big. So when I did my due diligence and found at the time, our whey protein, 98.5% lactose free, gluten free, coming from grass-fed, happy New Zealand cows, I went, big tick.
Yeah.
Undenatured, so they haven't cooked the shit out of it, and still contains all the live enzymes. So it doesn't matter what you eat. If your gut chemistry is still out of balance, you're not going to put nutrients anyway.
Yep.
Well, you're having a fancy nothing kind of meal. It doesn't work.
Yep. Yep.
So you've got to restore gut chemistry. So that was huge. So whether you do our whey-based protein, and I'm vegetarian, I'm not vegan, and I choose that I run between both. I'll have our plant-based, but I'll also have our whey-based, because I know it is so squeaky clean. The plant-based, we base on brown rice and pea protein, but again, the same amino acid profile, guys. That's important. That's the stuff I care about as a naturopath.
Yeah.
Just plant-based doesn't mean it's got everything you need, and it still doesn't mean that it's got the enzymes in it you need to pull up the right nutrition. That's it.
Yeah, that's perfect. And okay, so now we've got these little smoothie bowls. You're eating whole foods. You're mainly vegetarian, and this is the beautiful thing as well that I think I came to realize through help from people like yourself and John, and obviously other research. But when I realized that, at the end of the day, energy is just transferred from one state to another. It's never destroyed, right? So even when we die, we go back to the soil, and then the birds eat the ants, and then when the birds die, the ants eat the birds, right? It's just this continuous cycle. Energy keeps getting transferred. So with food, it's the same, right? It's the sun goes onto the plants grow, they get the nutrients from the soil. We either eat the plants or we eat the animals. And what we found is if, like the China study and all those things that a lot about, if we eat a majority plant-based diet, we're going to probably get on top of 60 to 70% of chronic diseases just by getting that in our system every day. But then you're sort of saying we can also eat the animals and also, the byproducts of that. But again, they just have to make sure they're
coming from a clean source.
Same source.
Come from a clean source. Yeah, very much. But and also
that's the conversation.
Yeah, it is. That is the big conversation. The other conversation is that your basic body systems are working in a way that every nutrient you eat is being utilized.
Yeah.
And that's, you can drink your alkaline water and you can do all your other fancy cool stuff. But if your gut chemistry is out of whack because you're stressing out, and the stress means you're dampening the fire in your belly, it's Chinese medicine thinking stuff, you're not going to pull up the nutrients anyway. So it won't matter how fancy any of your other stuff is. At some stage, you've got to get your basic body systems to work.
Yep.
And that's it. It was Hippocrates who said, given the right place and time, your body can fix anything. But the problem is people don't give it the right place and time. They do, I'll do this bit and I'll do this bit and that bit because that that fits me. Well, guess what? You're not just these bits. At some stage, give your body a full reboot and then see how good you can feel.
That's it. And I guess we're running up on half an hour now, Jen. I think we've got a really beautiful picture of the integrity of both yourself and what someone, with 25 years of naturopathy would partner with a conscious enterprise like this and actually add your experience to the field in the same way that you're doing it now, rather than see it as competition, as collaboration, right? And the beautiful thing about this is, you've gone on to impact how many people now as a result of partnering with this company?
I've got 16,000 people in my team that I've personally helped or in my team. Yeah, it's crazy cool. Better leverage than I could have ever got in clinic.
Yeah. And the thing is, right now you're probably talking to someone on here that is willing to start this program for themselves. And what would you say is the easiest way to kick into this and get started?
I could rip this thing apart as long as I wanted, and I did. For months, I made spreadsheets on spreadsheets on spreadsheets. And at some stage, I just had to eat it, see how I felt, knowing if I wasn't happy, I'd be able to get my money back.
Yeah.
So if you are listening to this and you're thinking about it and not sure of something, please, my reputation as a speaker around the world as a naturopath and business is solid. I was not going to do anything to compromise my business brand by aligning with this company. It was the biggest career choice I've ever made. And I'm more happier and more excited nowadays about what this is, because I left clinic because I wanted to help more people. The leverage that I've been able to achieve, and one of the coolest things about this company is we don't play this is my team and I only play with mine. Yeah. We're not financially linked. We met through this, and yet I'll do everything I can to help you succeed. 100%. Why? Because you succeeding means you're helping more people.
Yes.
I left clinic to help more people. Like the collaboration, true community that this little hippie is so grateful for, because you don't find this in the business world. It's seriously cool stuff.
And I guess, the worst case scenario is, imagine if, friends and family and people that are on here now got introduced to intermittent fasting. They got introduced to like some form of like nutritionally supported fasting with the cleansing. They had, no compromise smoothie bowls. They started, getting these like high vibration, herbs from like adaptogens and stuff into their body. And they just use it to complement what they're already doing. And even if they've got a bit of a healthy moderation lifestyle going on, at least they've got something that can bring it back into balance, right? Yeah. And this doesn't replace all the allied health professionals in the world. We're not saying that. Doesn't replace food, doesn't replace any of that. No.
But give your body a reboot for a month.
Yeah.
That's it. 9 years on, I'll have my adaptogen herbs before I go to bed tonight. I wake up in the morning, I have a shake for breakfast, generally, because I know that sets my gut happy and healthy for the day. I've got my core basics I like to play with.
Yep.
The best spa plugs are our little, our e-shots, our energy shots. They just rock. They're a super duper little tonic. I love them through the day. So everyone finds their maintenance. In Chinese medicine, we say that you live from a place of prevention. I'm 58. I refuse to wait to get stressed and tired. I just choose to have my body work for me instead of against me. I rebooted it with Isogenics 9.5 years ago. I rebooted it when I burned out 30 years ago, or 32 years ago. And I live from a place of prevention.
Yeah.
That's it. And this is the easiest program to fit that lifestyle thinking. And it rocks.
That's it. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jen. And, I hope I'm waking up in my mid-50s at 5 a.m. and like picking up a new skill like surfing and having the energy and vitality to give and to impact in the way that you do. So, from me to you, just a lot of love. And thank you so much. I've got some people reaching out. If you want to give any well wishes, guys, or if you've got any golden nuggets, feel free to share in the comment section below. And if you're watching live on Facebook, comment anything and even share some love with Jen. And if there's anything that you love about, the integrity and the value of the person she is, or if she gave you any golden nuggets, feel free to share those. So a nice bit of feedback that her time wasn't wasted here tonight, which it never is. Even if there was one person on this call, it would all be worth the while.
Totally. Thanks for having me, Rory. I love that, that I've met people like yourself through this community. And I'm serious that I love that we get to work together and just leave this world a better place. It's pretty damn cool for this peace, love, and brown rice hippie.
And one last question. What's the next big challenge for you? You've only done the Camino and stuff. Where are you going next?
Oh, I'm learning skateboarding. I've got a longboard. I am.
Yes.
Something so live from a place of prevention. What is the biggest thing?
Start skateboarding in your mid-50s.
Maybe by the time I'm 70, I'll be good. No, really seriously, one of the biggest things that people get trouble with when they get older is balance.
Yeah.
I realize surfing, I've taken up skateboarding to help my surfing. However, I seriously, I want to be strong and fit and healthy, that I can be choosing to do whatever I want when I'm in my 90s.
Yes.
And surfing is fun exercise. Skateboarding is just terrifying to me right now. Yeah. However, I know I'll get better with it over time. I'm just doing it at my pace. Yeah. And I know it's helping me all of that is helping me set up for way better balance to help keep me strong and fit and healthy all the way through the life. So I'm learning skateboarding, dead set.
I love that, man. I love that. And that's such a good metaphor for anyone who's on your health journey as well. Just run it at your own pace, start slow.
Yeah.
Keep it consistent and you'll get there.
Yeah, I'm a realistic naturopath, guys. I'm not the convincing game. If you want help, we're here to help. If you don't, totally cool. Enjoy your journey. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Big love. Thank you so much, beautiful.
See you, man.
I'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you. Bye.
Catch ya.